Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming a very special guest because it will be my second show in a row where I interview the widow of somebody famous. And today I will be interviewing Kathryn Graf, the widow of late great character actor David Graf, who you may remember played Tackleberry in the Police Academy movies back in the 80s. And he was in a lot of other great movies as well. And I'm having her on the show today to talk about his life and career and talk about her career as well. She's been a bunch of things as well. And I thought this would be a nice show to do today. And talk about all that stuff. And I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, here is my interview with Kathryn Graf. Hi, Kathryn.
Hi, Tommy.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing spectacular. Thank you.
Oh, good. Where are you in California?
Reading.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, very good. I enjoyed listening to the podcast you sent me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm here. I'm going to try to do this on speaker, and you tell me if it's better to do it from my ear and mouth, okay? So I'm going to put you on speaker for a second, okay?
Okay.
Does that bother you at all?
Oh, no, you sound perfect.
Okay, good. All right.
It's such an honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, my goodness, thank you. It's a lot of fun to do these things. I like them.
Yeah.
You know, they did are we on? Are you taping now?
Yeah.
Okay, so they did a documentary about the Police Academy movies, and I put a call into one of the producers, Mikey, a really, really nice young man, and he never got back to me, so they may be out of town, but I wanted to be able to plug it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of the documentaries. I don't even know what the title's going to be called, so I can't really do anything other than there is going to be a documentary about Police Academy out. They flew people in from all over the United States and a couple from Europe, I believe. So it was a pretty big deal, pretty big budget.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of David's. He was my favorite character in the Police Academy movies as Tackleberry. He was so funny in them. But I'm curious, though, how did he begin in acting?
Let's see, David. He was going to Ohio State to pursue a medical career for his master's and dropped out to go to New York and pursue acting. So he had studied at school in Ohio and, pretended he wanted to be a doctor like his father, who was a dentist, and then found the theater. And, that the rest is history, of course. Anybody who gets the bug, you can't really lose it very easily. So he went to New York, and the fun story of David is, of course, he did all the sorts of jobs, young actors do. He moved pianos, he dug graves, he did all sorts of crazy things. And then he got on to, you may know this already, but he got on to, Password, and got on with Patty Duke, and she was the celebrity, he was the guest, and he won some money for the first time in his life. He had some bucks, so he went out and bought himself some suits, and it kind of sort of changed his life. It was right after that, maybe he just felt better about himself or whatever, that happens to our egos. Then he got his first gig in an Arthur Penn movie called Four Friends, which is really a very good movie. I enjoyed it very much. Still friends with some of the people in that movie. And that was the start of his career. Then he moved out to L.A. because, everybody was basically saying, I remember Jack Nicholson apparently looked at my husband's headshot once and said, with a face like that, he's going to work a long time. So, he was kind of, as we called it, the thug of the week. Every week he was a thug on some show. So that's how he got started, basically. Pretty much the same way most actors get started. First in the theater, and then moving to film, and then eventually moving out to L.A. and doing pretty well in television until he broke into Police Academy. And that sort of changed his life completely.
Yeah, Jack was right about that.
Yeah, he was. That's right. I mean, he worked a long time, right up till the end. So he did very well in the business. I actually bought him a license plate with Thug O Week, and that was his license plate. Thug of the Week. But yeah, he did really well. They were looking for a guy to play Tackleberry, and it was a very difficult role to cast. I'm going to keep talking until you stop me, okay, Tommy? I don't know if you want. Okay? Okay. They were looking for a difficult choice in the casting, in that he had to be a gun fanatic in the days before guns were, kind of in the news a little bit more less than they are now. But he had to be a gun fanatic, but he had to also be sweet looking and sweet enough as a person that you didn't feel any threat from him. And they looked around a lot for the role, and until they found David, because he had just that quality, He could be a kind of a nut job, but you still sort of trusted him a little bit. So,
yeah.
That's how he got this guy. He was actually up for another role at the same time. It was a small role in a Sean Penn movie that I can't even remember the name of, but I stand guilty of the fact that it was such an artsy movie. I was like, you can't take this piece of junk Police Academy. This is an art film. This is wonderful. This is what this is for. Well, I sense, completely, eating crow on that one, believe me.
Yeah. Did he study with anybody famous when he was in New York?
Of course, I didn't know him then. Did he study? Oh, it seems to me he probably did, and I don't remember. He learned a lot from Arthur Penn. He fell madly, crazy in love with him. He just was a real mentor. But I don't remember where he studied. He did a lot of, summer stock and stuff like that. But I don't know. He was a very broke man. He was waitering and all the other stuff that he did. So I don't know if he was I don't remember if he was in a class or not, to be completely honest with you. So it's not like anything that was a big part of his history and biography, who he studied with. He was kind of independent. Strangely enough, we both were a little bit. We both kind of came into this business through the back door.
Yeah.
But he did really well. He did real well and loved it. That's the thing about David. He just was always living the life he exactly wanted. And he had some, I used to say he was like the luckiest guy alive, but I had to eat that myself later on when he was taken far too soon. So, that's the same with me, right?
Yeah. But before Police Academy, he did a lot of TV work in the beginning. He did shows like The Dukes of Hazzard, MASH, Lou Grant, The A-Team. Oh my God, The Rousters.
Yeah, he did everything, honestly. And you know what, to say the truth, I haven't seen so many of the things he did. I feel kind of bad about that. But for a while there, he was working so much. Of course, we were raising children, and, I had my own life going. And there were some things that I still have yet to see. I still, sadly, kind of embarrassingly, still cash the residual checks, but I've never seen them. He's still making more money than I am in this business, which is really sad. He's been dead 18 years, okay?
So when he got the role of Tackleberry in Police Academy and stuff, Paul Maslansky must have really liked him because he got to be in all 7 of the movies.
He did. In fact, I just read somewhere, I think when I was, perusing something, I don't know what I was perusing, but anyway, that he was in the first and the last scene of all the Police Academies, and I never knew that.
Huh.
I didn't know that. So it's always surprising me. If I go and Google them every now and then, I really hate that they have, a find a grave, and they have pictures of his grave online. These are things that really torment me a bit, but they also tell me things I never knew, where they've gotten me in touch with people. Like, people will reach out through different sites and say, hey, Kathy, remember me? Or, I was a big fan of David, so some of that's really nice. And still, I mean, even 18 years later, I still get, emails every now and then of people that, miss him and or were fans and that sort of thing.
Yeah, he's in the first scene of the first one. He shoots his own going away party.
That's right. That was just a great scene. That was a really great introduction to Tackleberry. And then he was in, I think the seventh one was probably the Moscow one.
Yes.
And of which I saw with one eye open and one eye shut. Don't tell Paul Lansky that. it was getting definitely not as good.
Yeah.
But, he got to go to Moscow, so, I mean, all is good. Paul Lansky is still a friend of mine, and we still have little reunions every now and then. I see Brant von Hoffman and Scott Thompson, Leslie, Mr. Brooks, a friend, and it was a real family. It really was. A lot of them are gone, strangely enough. I mean, it's really weird, but
yeah.
They were all very, very, very nice people that welcomed me as spouse, just like one of their own. So that was nice.
Yeah, I've always loved the way he plays Tackleberry in Part 2 because he had a romantic interest in Colleen Camp in that one. He brings Tackleberry to a new dimension that was lacking in the first one and all the other ones after that. He makes him so human in that movie.
I could so completely agree. That was my favorite one because they did feature a lot of David and Colleen, and the gun sex and all that stuff was just so funny. And I still use the line Lincoln Ocean Victor Edwards.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so sweet. So that endeared me as well. It was very endearing, and I think they did a smart job, the writers, of bringing him up and exploring his character in a different way. Then it really helped add some heft to the stories.
Oh, my parents would tell you when I was like 3-4 years old, I would say, I Victor Ocean Lincoln Edward you.
Oh, you're kidding! Isn't that funny? I'm sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and I think a lot alike because I've actually used it many times, and even in my head when I'm driving, if I'm thinking of something, Lincoln Ocean Victor Edward, man, I love that.
Yeah.
Some good writing. There was some good writing in that. I haven't seen those guys in a long time, but, they did good. David Sheffield and Barry Blounstein.
Yeah, when he goes to her door to pick her up for her for their first date, and he gives her those earrings that look like handcuffs.
Yeah.
He says ever so softly, "I had them made for you. Gift."
I remember that. It was like a whisper gift. He did such a beautiful job with that part.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I had to watch it on YouTube the other day. I remember that.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
Well.
That's nice. Well, he would have been, he probably, if there's such a thing as him looking down, he's still, he loved it all. He loved the fans. He loved it all. He wasn't shy about that, like some celebrities can be. He was always very generous with his time and his autographs and whatnot. So he would have loved to hear that little gift because it was really cute, and I still remember that too.
Yeah.
And Colleen was great. I don't know where. I know she was doing some producing for a while. I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah. Now during that gun sex, right? The gun goes off. I was always confused as to whether or not that was supposed to punctuate an erection or a premature ejaculation.
Yeah, I kind of think that's exactly what the writers had in mind, and they didn't want to, they didn't want to tell us too much. You can use your own imagination on that one, but certainly victory.
Yeah. I saw an interview he did. It's on all the DVDs of Police Academy. He said in it that Tackleberry is more like him than he'd care to admit. How was that so?
Okay, that's a good question. I don't know if I've seen those interviews actually, so I'll have to take a little visit down David Graf Lane again. So he had a big gun collection, He had in fact, what I'm doing right now in my life, I've been doing it since he died, and that is he collected just about everything on planet Earth. Like I kept saying to myself and my friends, there's got to be another wife somewhere because he doesn't have one of anything. But he was very much a boy, very, very much just a fool. When I did my one-woman show about him, he's like living with a 6'4" Boy Scout, or just a kid. He was like a child all the time, just as happy as a lark about everything. He had a gun collection. I found guns everywhere after he died. I had no idea what this guy had done. I had to have Grant, in fact, Grant von Hoffman from the movies. I asked him to come over. Mm-hmm. He went through all the guns with me, and he helped me figure out how to do it. And he's still extremely angry at me in a joking way because I decided to move back east for a while, and I did, and they didn't allow transportation of firearms. And being the Girl Scout that I am, apparently, I went to the police station and I gave them David's guns. And Brant will never forgive me for that. That's how you gave your guns to anybody but him.
Yeah.
Angry. And the police, I was telling them who I was and, whose guns these were, and they were like, and one of the police sergeants his face just went agog, and he went, Tackleberry? That's like a lexicon in the police station. Every young recruit acts like Tackleberry. That's what we call him, a Tackleberry. I never knew that. So they were pretty amazed that I showed up and gave them Tackleberry's guns. You can imagine. It was pretty cool.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, he was very similar to the character. He was just this big boy having fun in life. Really sweet energy, good energy.
Mm-hmm. Was he very conservative?
Conservative? Like, what do you mean, like politically, or?
Yeah.
No, neither one of us is, he was raised with, religion, and, we brought the kids to church and stuff, and, every single time we went to church, he would cry, that's how, he just loved everything, so he'd get caught up in that, and I'd be like, hey, where's this guy? but as far as politics and stuff, no, I mean, we were, I just feel like that kind of lends itself more to being, a little bit more on the outside of the norm and, trying to make a change for the world the way we think is better. So we're both pretty progressive. We're pretty liberal people. Most of our friends are as well.
Yeah, because Tackleberry worshipped Reagan. He had a picture of him by his bed.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Is that true? I didn't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? But, yeah, I mean, I even wrote once on social media, just, for my friends and stuff that, and maybe this is not so good to say in the podcast, but I think David would have been really an advocate to, to stop some of the gun use now. And I think he would have been a good voice for that. And that's unfortunate because he could have shown that, hey, it's okay to have guns, but it's getting a little carried away when we have machine guns at schools and stuff. So I think he would have been right there with me and our friends and really try to make a change on that. And I think his voice would have been helpful, actually.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm all about gun control, so yeah. That's not bad.
So yeah, he could have helped, but that's the way it goes, But yeah, we were definitely living the actor's life, and all that is involved.
And we
raised 2 kids, and we did live a very more or less fairly traditional life. He would go on locations, and I would have to run the show. He was also very involved with, our school. He was the lead parent at our school's PTA, basically. He was on the board of SAG. So he kind of did all that until I finally sat him down once and went, I'm tired. You're going out, doing all these meetings, but I'm running 2 kids and this whole family, and this is a lot. So he was going to tear down on that, actually. But, this is, I remember at his memorial, somebody said, well, he had too much on his plate, that's why he died. And I said, you got to be kidding me, man. This is what kept David alive. He loved all that stuff. He loved being, in group situations, making a difference, helping, being a part of the board here and the board there. He loved it, just loved everything. So he
Yeah. And he also played saxophone.
Yeah, he did. He played saxophone. He didn't play very much since I met him, though. He was more in his younger years. He still had a sax. I don't know where it is. I think I must have given it away or something. But yeah, he did. He kept it like under the bed or something. I don't remember. But yeah, that was a big thing. He played in the movie, as you know.
Yeah.
First one.
And the third.
Right? The first one, correct? Where they're at the beach or something?
Yes, but he also played it in the third one when they're having that police ball.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
When Leslie and Marion are singing.
Yeah, that's right. And they actually sang at his memorial service too here.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's something. Yeah. Well, it took our community pretty strongly. He was pretty much one of the first ones of our generation in our community to die, and it was so sudden, and he was such a big presence that it just really, people still talk about it, you know? 18 years later, I mean, that's saying something about someone's life.
Yeah. I loved when he was the new boyfriend in Irreconcilable Differences.
Oh, yeah. I loved that movie. I thought that was a great movie. Sharon Stone was so gorgeous in that movie, and so I just thought her work was great. It was before, I don't want to be mean, but it was a little before she became a little too self-conscious for my taste. You know? It was before she was told she was so gorgeous, and she was more gorgeous for it, you know? And I thought she was great in that.
She was in Police Academy 4.
Well, sure. Oh, yes, that's right. In fact, they became good friends, and David has told me that. I've just forgotten about that right now.
Yeah.
I met Sharon. I met her, and her and David spent a lot of time. She was having some problems with her marriage at the time, I recall, and they, she really relied on him to be a buddy, and so he would talk to her a lot. I mean, that seems to have always been the pattern. He'd go on locations, and I completely trusted him, but it was so funny that he'd always wind up with some beautiful woman telling him stories till late at night. I'm like, this is fun. When I was giving birth to our second child, he was in Moscow with Claire Forlani, smoking a cigar, and they're drinking booze, and they're playing games, and then they're taking down all the information about how much I'm dilating and what John's weight's going to be. And it's like, you're with who?
Yeah.
He was always everybody's friend, Every woman loved having him as a buddy to talk to. It's very interesting. So Sharon was definitely one of his buddies for a while.
Yeah, I have that quality too. A lot of women tend to gravitate toward me in that way too.
Yeah. You got the teddy bear quality, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, David used to actually think sometimes it emasculated him. He said, "I'm not a teddy bear." I said, "David, take it as a compliment. People just want you to give them a hug because you're a big old strapping big guy that's sweet." So he got it, but he used to think, hey, the old male ego coming in. It's like nothing wrong with being a teddy bear in this world.
Yeah. He did a short-lived sitcom called He's the Mayor.
Yeah. Yeah, He's the Mayor. Yeah, that was okay.
I never saw it.
It was short-lived, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that many things to say about that. It was never. Well, I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I think he had a little bit more difficulty with that role than other roles. But he had fun, and it was a good group of people as always. Yeah, I just saw Margot Rose recently. So yeah, there's still people all around from all those times. The other one is the Brady Bunch. I bet you're going to ask me about that. Huh?
Of course. My dad laughs so hysterically when he sees him playing Sam, especially in that scene when after Jan has been discovered that she's okay after she ran away from home, David's just standing there smiling. It's so damn funny.
He loved it. I mean, when he came down the stairs, I don't know if you remember, and somebody said, "Sam, what are you doing here?" And he said, "I was just delivering the meat."
Yeah.
He couldn't wait to say that line.
Yeah, my dad used to change that to, delivering your own meat.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a double entendre there.
Yeah.
That was very good. That was really fun. That was fun for me. I was, of course, I grew up around the Brady Bunch times, and so I watched like all the episodes, of course, just like a lot of us did. But it was really interesting because they were filming on a lot. I can't remember if it was Universal or where, but so I go in and I'm standing back and I'm watching like the last scene where they're all reuniting, and I was there at the very end, so I didn't disturb people. And it was so bizarre because there's Gary Cole, who's a friend of mine, and he looks exactly like Mike Brady, and then Shelley Long, and all these people, and it looks exactly like the Brady Bunch. It was like me going back in time, and here's this crazy, set that looks exactly, and then here comes my husband. It was like, whoa, this is too weird. That was just one of the best things. It was really, I was just so cool. I was just so happy. I still have his apron that I use at Sam's Butcher Shop.
Yeah.
I'm never getting rid of that.
Do you remember he did this TV movie of the week where he played just a mean, cruel villain? It was called The Town Bully. Yep,
I do remember that. I've been going through a lot of stuff, like I said, kind of trying to get rid of some of the stuff. So I've gone through like all of his memory stuff again fairly recently. So I came across some, ads for the Town Bully, and he really enjoyed that role. I think they were on location somewhere in California, but maybe even close where you are. Anyway, yeah, that was a pretty big role for him, and he was real excited to get that. Was Jennifer Aniston in that?
I think she was. I think
young Jennifer. I think it might have been her. And yeah, he loved it. He loved that role. And it was kind of a different role for him because he had always played kind of good-hearted people.
Mm-hmm.
He did play, of course, villains, but because of his size. But somehow or other, I don't know. Like maybe it was Tackleberry or something. I don't know. I mean, he was good at it. He was fine at it. It was just that there was just a sweetness to him that I don't know. Maybe everything was fine. I don't know. Anyway, he was very happy with that role. I'm not making much sense on this one. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about Town Bully other than he really was excited to get the job and really enjoyed working on it.
Yeah, it's a very chilling performance, and he really embodies that character against Bruce Boxleitner in the movie.
Well, you really know your stuff. Like you know more about my husband's career than I do right now. There's a lot that kind of slipped away after a while,
Yeah. Oh, let me ask you this. Oh my God, this is one of my favorites. He did an episode of Family Matters.
I don't know. Tell me what that was. I don't remember.
He plays a drill sergeant. When Waldo joins the army, Eddie and Urkel go to the army to stop him from joining. And David's the drill sergeant. His name is Robert Shiska, and Urkel calls him Shishka Bob. And oh my God, they play off each other so well and stuff. Urkel's saying to him, I bet you don't have too many friends, and he's like yelling at him like Sergeant Carter on Gomer Pyle, and then he says, they say aggression comes from an obstructed bowel movement, and then that really makes him mad.
Oh, that's cute. And what was the last show he did was with Bob Saget, I believe, and
Bob
he played a French man, or with an accent, So one of David's skills in life that people may not know is like when he did Klingon. He did a Klingon, and they would call David up.
Mm-hmm.
They needed somebody to do a voiceover, a Klingon voiceover, because he had an unbelievable skill of doing languages. And he could, read copies of Klingon, which is not easy. Klingon is not easy. And he could do it. He could pull that off. And it was really extraordinary. He had a real gift for language. He could do accents, and he was a very, very quick study.
Wow.
Most of the better actors in life are very great people. That's experience.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
so at the time of his death, was he sick at all?
Not at all. No, it was a complete surprise. I mean, his father had died, at the same age. So, but, all the years that we were together, every now and then he would bring it up. He'd bring it up to other people, too. And, one of my regrets in life is that I just poo-pooed it. I just said, no, come on. Are you kidding me? Your dad was this, your dad was that. He was a dentist. He was a day in the day. He was sedentary. What are you talking about? Just relax. And, we just thought his dad was a fluke. And then at his memorial, this is all in my writing now, but his memorial, his mom told me that his great-grandfather also died at 51. So the play I'm writing right now is actually about how angry I am, and, not all the time in any way, but there is some serious resentment that had we been told about that, maybe we could have seen it as a pattern.
Yeah.
And not, had done something about it science-wise to possibly circumvent it. But that being said, I will say that when I got back from my brother's wedding where he died, I called the doctor. He had just had a full checkup, and because he got some life insurance, strangely enough, now I know that I kept saying that we can't afford to pay life insurance. It's too expensive every month. And he said, well, when we get back from the wedding, I'll reduce it. I just am not comfortable not having life insurance for you. And so I called that doctor, and I said, I need to know if there was anything in that report, anything at all, that he did not tell me. And he looked, he goes, wow. He goes, he was just really blown away. He had liked David a lot and said, I swear to you, there was not one thing. I didn't even tell him he needed more tests because everything came back so good. So it was just a fluke. It was, just a genetic predisposition, unfortunately. And so, so it's a bit of a real horrible drag that I have two young sons. I did at the time. I still do. Now they're older, and I get them. We're going about it a little bit more with science, but ultimately, prayer helps too.
The day that I got that news report, I just could not believe it. I mean, it was like an old friend died. I mean, I was just devastated.
Oh, kind of you to say so. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was told. I know it was on the news, and I started getting calls from people, and then we had so many people to call at the house, and of course everybody was taking care of it for me. And I remember one woman called me back hysterical that somebody had left it on the message machine, and I had to say to all the women and men that were calling people, you have no idea how much David meant to people. You must talk to them. I don't care if you talk on the phone, but you can't leave a message like that. He deeply touched people in their lives.
Mm-hmm. And you did a one-woman show about him.
Yeah, well, it was about me. It was about, life as a young widow, an unexpected young widow, and what it really was like for me. And it was as honest as I could ever be. It wasn't, I was so surprised that, you'd think it would be one way, but it's not. It's hardly at all about missing. It's more about absolute chaos going on inside your brain at all times. And your life's been completely upended. So it was, it was a struggle. It really was. I had the boys were 10 and 7. And, I lost my best friend. The disconnection is very, very difficult for people. Now I know. I mean, I went to a grief support group. I've done a lot to help, I hope. But yeah, the disconnection, it's like all of a sudden you're not talking to them a couple times a day or 20 times a day. And if there were texts in those days, we'd be insane together. And that was hard. And then you have the two kids who were in a lot of pain, and I was selfishly in my own pain. And, it's a trip. It's a trial, and I'm glad I'm 18 years out, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. About a year later, I lost my grandmother, and my mother and I, we went through an awful lot during those first 4 or 5 years. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Grief was really confusing, and nobody does it the same way, and I have a lot of respect for it now. I mean, I think it's a very important I mean, like, I encouraged people when I was in my grief support group, talking to friends. I tried with my one woman show. I became a bit of a guru about it. And I just always say to people, you know, I like the Winston Churchill quote: "If you're going through hell, keep going." That the idea is don't try to take the pills and make it go away, because you gotta. I just felt like I had to kind of show my respect for him by crying, by grieving, and also just to get it out of my system. And that's one of the reasons I wrote. Well, I wrote because I didn't want to audition anymore, so it was in a form of expression. And then when I went and did the show, when I started becoming the actor in the show, it was a way to kind of, you know, exorcise it from my body over and over and over again until I started feeling a little bit better. You know.
Yeah, so, I would have loved to have seen it, I'll tell you.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, it wasn't so much about David, although people were absolutely, his friends were just, you know, because I play him, I played off like 20 different roles, and they were just said it was like having a visit with David again, and I think everybody really loved that part of it too. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it just told about our relationship. It told about the life insurance policy, strangely enough. It told about how I had these extremely, what would the word be? Extraterrestrial, no. But I had contact with him, and I didn't go out looking for it. I always used to say to myself, I'm the kind of person that ghosts need to stay away from. And yet, I'll tell you something, I had some pretty wild experiences with that man hanging out with me, talking to me, trying to make contact, and it was wild. So that was kind of cool. Like, I definitely know what it's like to be sort of psychic or something. It's all mostly gone away now, but it was pretty powerful and potent then. So, yeah. I believe he did. I believe he reached over, you know, and tried to just kind of comfort me as best he could, however that works in life. And, you know, I'm not the first one who's ever felt that, and a lot of people say that experience happens right after death a lot, and, you know, James McGee writes about it in his book. And, I went out for a walk one day and landed right in front of a guy I used to date in college, and I try to avoid him because I'm like, oh, God, I was just so overwhelmed with pain and grief. And then all of a sudden, I say hi to him, and he introduces me to his girlfriend, who's an actor that I recognize, but I don't really know. We're talking about, and I tell her that my husband died, and she says, well, tell her what I do. And she's a medium. And she says, come in. David wants to talk to you right now. And I was like, I went out for a walk here, dude. And he talked about what I had done the night before, everything. Specifically, he told me to get out a blue sapphire ring that was in our vault in our house and give it to my older son and tell him he's there for him. It was mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. But if anybody could reach beyond the great beyond, I really do believe he did.
Yeah, I had a car accident 4 years ago, and I spent 30 days in a coma.
Oh, my God.
And my mom felt like she was channeled by my uncle and my grandmother and everybody and stuff during the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny, I just finished reading a TV show I wrote about something like that. Did you have any recollection? Did anything happen there that you remember?
Nothing. You know, I just remember just laying there the whole time and just thinking, why am I not waking up? And when the first day that I woke up, and I woke up on my mom's birthday, and I never forget my mom's birthday.
Wow.
And she said that I said that, you know, I had went to heaven and I was with all these comedy stars and movie stars and stuff, and we were like traveling around the world and stuff. I don't remember any of that at all, though, but I don't doubt that it happened.
That is so wild. That's great. I have a friend who's still in a coma right now. An actress friend who was in one of my plays. And, she's been in a coma, I think, probably as long as that now. Right. I think about it. You know, it's just like, wow. I mean, it's a pretty wild thing. That's crazy. I'm very glad you survived it. Congratulations on that, man.
Oh, thank you.
And that you survived intact. That's the thing.
Yeah, it was just the most amazing and profound thing. for me. I just, realized, after I got out of the hospital, it's just like I got to pursue my dream after putting it off for so long because I just didn't know how, and then I just figured I'll figure it out,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I mean, I think those near-death experiences do tell us something about, get going, because it can happen at any time, right?
Yeah. So.
Oh wow, that's wild.
So were you an actress early on?
Yeah, so I was an actress. I didn't have the most great career. I did a lot of commercials and stuff too, though. I mean, that I did. I did find my niche in that. I just, as far as I would have I wanted to be Meryl Streep, who doesn't? But yeah, it didn't go as well as I had hoped, and it was hard for me oftentimes, inside the marriage, because, if I had a bad audition, I wouldn't get another audition for a very long time, and David would blow an audition and have 3 more the next day. So there is a disparity. I mean, I don't want to get into the male versus female thing, but it does exist, of course. And I felt it in the marriage. I felt like I never really got a shot. And David would always try to help me, and he always said, "You're the artist of this family," and I didn't know what that meant. And when he died, actually, I found a little thing, I found a lot of little things. Like, I think he had left some things around, and my son Sean still has something that I framed for him that he said he never saw before. And he said, "Dad loves Sean. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug." And I found this little book, and it was in a little notebook, and I don't remember ever seeing it before. And it said, "Happy birthday, write good things." I'm going to cry. "Write good things, and goodness will come of them." Sorry. I had never seen that before, and I had never started writing until he died. So it was pretty wild. I still have it. I have it framed. So he always, he kind of always used to say to me, "Your time's coming." And I don't know, he was a psychic person, not me.
Yeah.
He always used to, I think he knew that there was a possibility he was going to die because of all the people afterwards that told me, the principal of our school said he came in right before he went to the wedding and said, "Well, I've almost made it. I'm almost there. My dad died at this time, and I've got about 5 days to go," or something like that. And so he was obviously worried about it, and he couldn't talk to his wife because I dismissed him all the time. And now I wish I hadn't, but, you just don't think about that when you're living and you're fully alive, and it was impossible to believe that somebody like David Graf could be taken. It just was. He was just so, he was just so big and beautiful and wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. You got to play a stewardess in Police Academy 5.
I did. In fact, the funny thing about that story, as a couple of things have happened since then, but it was funny because with that, they didn't, I thought I'd be a shoo-in. I finally have an in something in this business. This is easy. Well, they made me audition for it. And I go into audition, they don't have anything scripted. And so they had me try to play around with it and do some improv, which I had done a lot of improv. Mm-hmm. And what I did was, though, I came up with a couple of funny things. And sure enough, if they used my line for the trailers and everything. And I thought, in hindsight, I looked back and I went, it was your writing they liked the most. And I thought, I guess maybe there was a hidden writer there all along. Because they did. They used it in all the trailers and stuff. And it was just a silly line. But it came out of my improvisation, and I was happy about that. So it was a little bit more than just playing the stewardess. I got to actually kind of write for that movie in my own little head.
Yeah. And you got to work with Alan Meyerson, who's one of the founding members of the committee.
What's the committee of?
Oh, the committee was a sketch comedy group in San Francisco in the late 60s with Howard Hessman, Rob Reiner, Fred Willard, Larry Hankin, and Gary Austin, who later went on to create the Groundlings in Los Angeles.
Oh, where I studied for quite a while. That's interesting. So that's probably why he had me doing improv. I didn't do the research on Alan there, but that was the rehearsal. That was the audition was all just ad lib, have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
was nice. We got to be in Miami, and working on a film in Miami. Wow, pretty cool.
Did you take classes at the Groundlings?
I did. I took classes at the Groundlings and formed a comedy troupe with some people that became extraordinarily successful for their writing. Jay Kogan from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Frank. There was a lot. Really, really talented writers. I wasn't as talented a writer, especially then. And my writing became not sketch comedy. My writing became more plays, comedy certainly, but always an undertone of some pretty serious stuff. So sketch comedy's not my bag so much, but it was so much fun being in this group with all these extraordinary writers and fun, just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got to.
The brave antlers of all things.
I've gotten to interview a lot of the old Groundlings that were there in the beginning, like Lynn Stewart and Terry Bolo and Wendy Goldman a little bit later and stuff.
Wow.
And because I'm a big Groundlings fan.
Oh, do you know Phyllis Katz by any chance?
I know who she is. She's actually on my list to interview.
Oh, you should. Tell her I said hi.
I sure will.
Yeah, I see her every now and then, and she's very good. She was part of the group. She was our teacher, and then became part of the group as well.
Did you know Cynthia Zaghetti?
No, I don't recognize that name.
Yeah, she was probably one of the most respected teachers at the Groundlings. She started with Lyd and Terry and all them in the early years. She died a few years ago, and she taught Lisa Kudrow, and Lisa Kudrow always credits her as being the one who was the key to her success.
Oh, that is so cool. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice. Yeah, the Groundlings is a great place to study. It's a really good idea for people coming out here. I think improvisation will always serve you well.
Yeah, when I was graduating high school, I wanted to go out to L.A. and take classes with the Groundlings and stuff, because that was a dream of mine. And then, my grandmother died, and I had to take care of her for 9 months before she died, so I didn't get to go. I wanted to go afterwards and stuff, but life got in the way, and it still might happen, in the future. I don't think I'd want to be a part of the company now because I'm older and there's other things I want to do, but, it still can happen.
Yeah, and it's, you know what? You don't even have to be part of the company. Just having a little bit of fun and going, being on the stage and stuff. It's, that in itself can color your world in a beautiful way. It really can. And it's never a bad thing to get together with people and have some fun and laugh. and the Groundlings is a great place because people are very, very talented around there, as you know.
They sure are.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of working on Webster?
No, actually, I don't. I saw that, and I think I can't even remember that role. My roles were like "Don't Blink," so they weren't all that memorable to me or anyone else, really. I did do a couple of things later on. I had this really good role. Really, I finally got a really good guest star role, and I was so excited about it. And they showed us the night that they had the O.J. Simpson interview.
Oh my God!
So like literally nobody, no member of my family, nobody saw it. So that's all right. There was, of course, there was disappointment in it, but the truth is, I'm back auditioning now for just commercials and stuff, and maybe more later. I haven't decided, but I found writing, and I don't know if you write, you sound like you might be a writer.
Oh yeah.
I figured you can almost tell the writers now. I can almost spot them. I love it. I love it so much. I love not having to audition. I love being able to get up every day and create if I want to, and nobody's telling me what to do and how to do it. I've gotten very good. I feel like I'm better at that than I am at acting, and I'm just grateful for that, to be shown that gift. And again, that's what I say at my one-woman show. It was hard to get my head around the fact that one of the greatest gifts I received in life was finding out I could write, and that didn't happen. It wouldn't have happened probably had David not died. So life is full of those kinds of dichotomies. It's just it's just cool. So, yeah, that's life, that is really just life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my stories have been about, being a single woman, not a terribly ugly one. And so I had a lot of experiences with a lot of different things. It's like the whole story about online dating in middle age is just hell. But funny stuff. That was the one that Dave Cass Miracles and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, so I had a lot of interesting, very strange experiences because I was a single woman. And so, in a way, you can't help but not say thanks to God or the universe for allowing that, and at the same time, I would never have wished what happened to have happened. So, but it sort of freed me. Maybe I'm saying this to people out there. There is hope. Death happens. It's really, really hard. It's really terrible. But I found a freedom to it too. I found this incredible, joy in my life because I found writing. So, there's always something else if you look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I started this podcast in my bedroom 2 years ago when I had to move down here and help my mom with her with the rent and everything, and because I was gonna leave straight for LA a couple years ago and stuff, but then I decided to come down here and help my mom because I'd missed her, and plus I was recovering myself, from my accident.
Yeah.
And I just started this thing, and I can't believe I'm at, 473 episodes.
Is that right? That's fantastic, Tommy. Good for you.
Yeah, I have really no life up here. I haven't really made any friends, or there's nothing really to do up here, and so I've just been dedicated to this.
Well, that is just wonderful. And, that's what I love about your generation, because I believe I heard on your other podcast that you said you're around 35, as I recall. Am I right?
I'm going to be 36 next week.
Okay. Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
But your generation, or the ones that have come after the boomers, we so screwed up everything, it's just ridiculous what we've done. But, I love that you guys, and I tell this to my kids, you don't have to rely on, the 3 studios, the powerhouse. You can do things on your own a little bit more because of the internet. And my kids can express themselves with, all the cool apps and all the stuff that's out there that we never could. If MGM didn't hire you, you weren't working, So, and that's the way it was. It was very patriarchal to some degree. It was like the big guys win, and all the rest of us, follow them. And now I see such wonderful, wonderful things out there that people are doing. People that don't need a record label, they can put their music out. It's really extraordinary, and I think it's really great way that we're moving in the right direction in that avenue. I think, not all avenues, but certainly in that avenue, in the creative. And I've also found it over the years. I've been following politics and becoming more of an activist lately, and it's knowing more about politics, knowing more about the world and how it works. I've learned a lot. I didn't even know what the word recuse meant before 3 years ago. So I've really, really got in and learned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, ultimately, the only 2 great things on this planet that I say are art and nature. That they sustain. Politics is just all BS too. It's all nonsense.
I agree.
Self-expression and beauty and nature, animals, trees, all that. I don't know. It's what I've come to. I'll be almost 61. I'll be 61 in August, and that's where I'm at right now. It's like this creation is the greatest thing to create.
I cannot stand a lot of my generation or younger because there's so much entitlement there, and they don't have a sense of camaraderie like the older generation does, and they're offended by everything.
Give me an example of what you mean.
Oh my God! So okay, every once in a while I'll interview somebody in my age group on this podcast, and one of the things I like to do. I don't know if you heard it in the podcast that I sent you, but I like to tell the guests a couple dirty jokes, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I will bring that up to them and stuff, and they'll be like, no, I don't want to hear that, you know. But like,
really,
yeah, but like the older generations, they love it. Oh my God.
Oh, you can tell me all the dirty jokes you want.
Oh, good, because I got several of them.
Yeah, the political correct stuff on planet Earth right now, or especially in this country, is so overrated. It's insane. And look, I'm not going to go into Me Too movement and everything.
Yeah.
I just think, but everybody, just calm it down. You know, it's not all one way or another. Everything in life is a balance, and good people, there's good girls, and there's bad girls, and there's good boys, and there's bad. It's like everybody's got something. I wouldn't put my trust in all the women I know either. They're not, most of them. So it's like everybody's. I just don't side with one thing or another. And I think the politically correct stuff that's going on now and dirty jokes and gosh, you can't say that. It's like, oh my gosh, relax. It's going to take time to balance out and stabilize, I think.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of I kind of went on a segue, sorry.
It's okay. Before I get to the jokes, though, let me ask you, what projects are you working on currently?
Well, if you really want to know the truth, I've been in a little bit down the rabbit hole. I wrote a TV series, so I've been doing everything on Splat, and it was going really, really well. I mean, I came in with that door as a writer. You know, basically playwrights have to go to five colleges to get their, at PhDs, and then they're streamlined. And I understand how it works, and at my age, it's a problem. But I managed it. I did really well. I was doing really good. And then all of a sudden, they just like someone took the rug out from under me again. And it was like, okay. And so I work with a man who likes my work a great deal. He's been around for a very long time. He's been a great gift to me in my playwriting. And I thought, well, why don't I try television? And then so I wrote this, which I really like, about a woman in a coma, and strangely. And then, I'm just sitting with it. So I'm not. My problem is in life is that I'm very diligent generally with the work. I am prolific with my work, and yet, nothing's been happening. And I have all these really great plays that aren't getting done. And, it's a story that many people can tell. So I can kind of go down the rabbit hole a little bit. I can kind of get depressed about things. And I said I'm going to give up and move to New York and just kind of learn architecture, study some other form of art. But so I'm not working on. I have a script that I'm still working to finish, a two-person play that I wrote for my director's wife, who I don't think she's going to do it though. The Kathy Baker's his wife.
I love her.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kathy's, and so I wrote the play for her. But it was a while. I just didn't write it in a while, and he said, I like this part, and I don't like that part. So I'm in rewrite. And she's so busy right now, she's not going to do it. But so for a woman who's 67 years old and a guy who's 40, and I figured that's easy to find. I just have it, with this business, and anybody can tell you this, even David has problems with this, is that, after a while, if people aren't responding to anything, if nothing's ever happening, it's really hard to kind of jumpstart. It's really hard to know what else to do. I'm not really good at being aggressive and asking people favors, and and people can't. Nobody reads your script. I mean, if you send it to people, they say, "Oh my God, I love her. Oh, I'll read it," and they don't read it. You send them to theaters, and you submit to theaters, which I do with every script, and So anyway, it takes a year for them to read it. So it literally takes a year for every theater to get back to you, and then to put you on a schedule for the year later. So the momentum is hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up your optimism and excitement when it's so difficult to, get anywhere. So, I don't know what I'm going to work on now. I'm going to finish this play. I'm starting to feel a sense like I'm coming back again. I'm kind of seeing this guy. He's making me feel pretty good again.
Oh.
So maybe I'll go write it again and get back to it, because I'm not myself. I'm not really very good unless I'm actually writing and doing something. So I'm going to.
Wow. So,
This business, it can happen. You don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. Steve used to say, I can't believe you're not getting this play done all over the country. I said, Steve, I have an idea. I got to write it. My next play could inform the other plays. It could get me the agent I need, the work I need. So it's like, as long as you have an idea going, write. Write. It's just that some people that are really, really good at selling themselves, if I were that good at selling myself, I wouldn't be as good as an artist or a writer. I just wouldn't. It would take a piece of my soul. I can't do it. So actors need help. Writers need help from agents and stuff. They really do. And I haven't been lucky that way.
Yeah, I'm with you on the asking for favors thing. I'm going through that right now myself. I was supposed to be out in LA from July to November this year to just get things done, with stand-up comedy and theater and stuff I want to do out there. And plus I got offered a movie role and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had a falling out with the person a couple weeks ago. And now I'm just like, trying to get someone to, get me to stay with them and stuff. I like putting it out on Facebook and everything, and like no one's responded, and I hate asking for favors like that,
Right. Yes, it is hard. It's very hard. And it just doesn't, I've asked friends to recommend me, would you mind reading this play, and this person, and then they don't read it. And then you think, well, I don't want to lose my friend, so I never bring it up again, because it's so disappointing, and you can't force people to like you. You can't force people to read your stuff, hire you. It's like all I need is about $5 million, and I'd be happy. I'd get all my stuff produced.
Well, have you ever thought about doing a crowdfunding?
Yeah, I have thought about that, actually. I have a play that I'd really like done. I think it's just one of the great. I think it's a really, really good play. A lot of people have liked it. Oh boy, but nobody puts a ring on your finger. You know what I mean? So it's like
you should do it.
Need the production. I don't care if you like it. I need the production, please. I thought about it. It costs. I know because it's a woman who produced one of my plays told me that was an independently produced play, so she had a rent theater as well, and it cost her then, before Actors Equity changed the rules here in LA, then it cost her $100,000. She just did another one, and she said she has to add about double now because she has to pay all the actors. So about $150,000 to produce a play in LA.
Wow,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, $100,000. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought about it. I thought about trying to do one of those things. I don't know yet. It's a little embarrassing for me. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
Oh, God.
Like I said, I'm very unaggressive that way.
If I won the lottery, I'd give you the money.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. I remember being asked once to the commercial audition, what would you do if you, I don't know, something like if you got $1 million. And I thought, I kept myself all the way for years going, why didn't I just say, I produced all my plays and never auditioned for another commercial in all my life. How about that? But that wouldn't have been very nice.
So let me...
For some people listening, they might go, boy, what an ingrate, It's like you get to audition for roles, and people think, oh, you're really successful. You've done all that. You did something. You did. I don't feel that way. I feel pretty humble and pretty much needy and hungry for more. Unfortunately, you just keep going forward. I want to work now.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for things, and I'm grateful for my interesting life. But yeah, I would really like. I would like somebody to, to want to do a television, or I have films that I've written, and a lot of plays that I haven't been produced. So whatever, we'll see what happens. Sometimes these my therapist tells me that it's the times that seem fallow that are to me very, very important in life. So
yeah,
that's the hope. You're not really fallow. You're pregnant. You're getting ready for something else as an artist. So it's always good to keep in mind for you and me and everybody like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me come up with, let me think of some jokes here. Okay, a bear and a rabbit are taking a shit in the woods. The bear says to the rabbit, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" The rabbit says no. So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit.
Very funny. That's a good one.
And then the rabbit died from the stink.
Good one. Good one.
Thank you. Here's my Cinderella one that I always tell. Oh my God, people love this one. Cinderella is about to go to the ball, and she's on her period, and the fairy godmother gives her these magic tampons and says, "Okay, you can go to the ball, but you have to be home by midnight or else they'll turn into a pumpkin." She says, "Okay, fairy godmother, I will." So 12:30 rolls around. Fairy godmother's pacing around the house angry because Cinderella hasn't shown up yet. But then she does show up at 4 a.m. stumbling drunk. And fairy godmother says, "Where were you? You were supposed to be home at midnight." And Cinderella's like, "I'm so sorry, fairy godmother. I met this great guy. His name was Peter Peter."
That's cute. I like that.
You can tell that one to your girlfriends at dinner parties.
There you go. I will.
Oh, I've done it. Oh my God, they love it. Right after the punchline, I do this creepy smirk to let everyone know that it's time to laugh. It's a real toe.
That's funny.
It's a real toe curler.
Well, I wish you luck, Tommy. I hope if you're ever performing on a stage in LA sometime, you got to let me know about that.
Oh, yes. I could only.
On Twitter? Are you on Twitter? I could find you on Twitter, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook.
Okay, all right, good. You don't mind if I go ahead and look you up and friend you?
Of course.
Okay, follow you.
Of course.
Okay, yeah.
And so.
Well, yeah. It sounds like you're about ready to embark on something new. And then listen, what you have here is, I think that's very successful. You've done very well for yourself. So I applaud you. You'd also be a good DJ. I'm not DJ, sorry. Radio person, like you have that kind of voice.
Oh, people have been telling me that since high school, and I wish I had listened to them then. Then I would have embarked on it, because I grew up loving Howard Stern. He's like one of my idols, and I'm making up for it now during the podcast and stuff, right? But also, I think I should get into voiceover stuff too.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's also, I did voiceovers a lot.
I know, I've recognized your voice from it, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even you don't even have to do a demo. You could take just some of the stuff, what you're doing here, probably, and send it to some of the people, explain what your career has been like so far, and say, a lot of people told me, and you may get a response very quickly because you do have a very good voice for it. I think, really.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I hope you do get to make your plays because you seem very passionate about it and you've already done it. It's a little bit harder now though, but I really think you're going to persevere.
Thank you. Well,
yes.
I will persevere. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, because you've been a strong person to this point, and you will continue to do so. I can just tell. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. Well, Kathryn, this was such an amazing honor. I thank you so much for coming on today. My very great pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. And you have yourself the most amazing day. Thank you. You too, Tommy. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Kathryn Graf. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Kathryn. You are an amazing woman and a very talented woman. I'm so glad that we got to talk about David's life and yours. And like I said, you will persevere like you always do. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.